Good morning, Tribal Jazzman Scholar. I'm just going to say something briefly about jazz improvisation. You know, it's this weaving of a melodic line spontaneously through pretty complicated chords, usually, and also based on an original melody. At least the original song sort of informs the movement. But none of this is conscious. Jazz musicians don't plan out the solo most of the time. At least the good ones don't. They train and they practice, and then they deliver the line spontaneously from who knows where. It literally pours forth with sometimes a level of complexity and brilliance that's pretty hard to explain if you were to analyze it. You know, the numbers of notes, the perfection of the intonation. I'm thinking of a saxophone player. Any case, I have been listening at great length to a handful of solos, just the saxophone solos of a musician friend of mine, and fantastic musician, great technique, and just tremendous talent, and a relatively unknown musician, except among a circle of people. But that shouldn't be construed to imply that he's anything but a fantastic talent. What I hear in his improvisations sometimes is someone talking. Not in words, though, but I see the gestures and I feel the intent, and they're not words. But I completely get the message. I don't know how to explain it. It's a language. And it has qualities of language, that there's some humor, there's certainly intent and ideas, but it's of a level of the message is at a level of emotional depth that reminds me of the most incredibly lucid lecture or inspirational speech. And the message is just that the world is beautiful. And it's not, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing a language. Not all the time, but when I hear it, I'm fully fluent in the language. Even Tribal Jazzman Scholar sneezes. Wow. So, it's thrilling. It's thrilling. And I'm convinced of this, that the deep soul of the individual, which is sort of a crystalline, pure energy field connected to the cosmos, to the God, to the sentient earth. I don't know where it comes from. But it's that thing in us that is perfect. Even if it's perfectly human, perfectly imperfect, it has a quality to it, though, that is undeniably fresh and alive, and that has a goal to speak beauty and to articulate a truth that's so both mystical and yet evident that I can't not feel it and hear it. And I don't know what I'm hearing. But it requires a couple things in me. I think it requires that I know the artist pretty well, because there's a filter that is the personality of my friend. That sort of, I hear him and I see his gestures, but then there's also a need to have had maybe some of these deeper emotions and feelings so that I have some reference to what the language is. And then it probably helps that I'm a jazz musician and that I know these songs. But wow, it's a language. It's a language. It's not my imagination. I can't hear it all the time like that. But when I do, I'm entranced, mystified. And that's all.